Now, as a very serious knife journalist, not only am I trying to find new ways to baton every time, I'm always looking to up my writing game, you know what I'm talking about, so I can sound real smart when talking about pocket knives, of course. But I'll be honest, constantly finding new synonyms for dope, amazeballs, killer, lit AF can be creatively draining, okay? And maybe you kids aren't ready for amazeballs yet. But I don't give up. Now, you can't find lit AF in Roget's. But if you search Urban Dictionary, they don't give synonyms, but they do have helpful example sentences which you can copy and paste into your knife video. You just gotta be very careful to replace the word dick with knife, as you know, depending on how much you lift. However, the real benefit of the whole thing is I found my new pre-workout supplement. Although choosing between gummy worm, icy fireworks, lemon ice, or sweet and tart is gonna be real hard. Wait, sorry guys. I mean an interesting conundrum. But we're not here to talk about my verbal prowess. We're here to talk about the dope AF Null Knives Voodoo and how many different times can I call a part awesome without viewers thinking I'm a total hack. But the joke's on you because total hack is a compliment for a guy putting out this kind of content.
Still got it.
Anyway, enough about the language arts. Let's get to the math section of the video. We're going to make this a quick look, or maybe not looking at the amount of text here. I don't have, a lot of time this week. You don't have time this week. And I spent a lot of time editing the fixed blade overview, and that one could have been better in the views, and plus I'm trying to have this video done on the 24th before the pre-order date on the 27th of October. You got that? Now anyway, at the beginning of this year, I got loaned the Raiden, and this follow-up second knife is pretty awesome. I have a little running tally here. I used dope, I used lit, awesome, killer. That's awesome like 3 times now. Ah, shit. Now this knife is a loaner too, so you don't get your feather stick in with your fingerless gloves with the little folksy guitar back and track this week, but maybe we'll bring that back next week. There are other knife channels out there, guys. So the Voodoo here is technically a production sample, so things could change, but they probably won't, and the knife they sent me is pretty dialed in already. So let's start with the blade. Now if I said it was M390, can you pretend like it's the first time you've ever heard M390? Hey guys, the steel we're looking at today is M390. It's pretty cool. Look it up. Or you can also look in the comments. Maybe the M390 guy showed up this week. He has some opinions on it. Now, as far as the blade shape goes, the cooler kids, the millennials, might call it a reverse tanto, but the old guy in me will call it a sheep's foot with a little bit of a harpoon-style swedge thrown in up top, a sheep's spoon, if you will, which turns out is a very careful pronunciation. Now, note there are going to be at least 5 variations at launch, and I'll have varying blade finishes. But this here, the one in my hand, is an acid wash. But the viewer knows that. The guy who doesn't know it is me. It's the dumb guy. I got to read the specs. Otherwise, it could have been a tricky situation, so let me run this hypothetical past you. Actually, what we're looking at here is a tumbled titanium coating. It looks like an acid wash, but it's actually a pretty common misconception with this style. We're trying to elevate what customers expect when we provide them an acid wash. We don't just give acid washes here. My product guy voice sounds a lot like my voice. Anyways, a knife reviewer, and as far as my preferences go, I'd take a good old hand rub any day. And they have that in a satin hand rub on the Voodoo with the black carbon fiber. Now, while this knife has moved on to its next influencer stop, one thing I remember is that it's just about perfect as the dialed-in action. I literally love everything about the knife, but the action seals it. It has a nice detent, not too strong, not too light, just perfect. It's easy popping. Whatever force it takes to overcome the resistance of the detent, it follows through with the solid and smooth lockup. You just pop in it and it just locks up. I wouldn't call it drop shut, but it's pretty smooth. And I think we're at the point in the knife collecting world where the people who place the emphasis on the drop shut are now kind of viewed as a-holes. Is that where we are? I think so. The tri-way thumb stud is pretty nice, not to be confused with the tri-way pivot because there'd be a lawsuit there. Sorry, but the thumb stud is not too edgy or uncomfortable. No real fidget owies I have found when flicking it. Now, I don't think the manufacturer can officially say where this one is made, but if this isn't a Riot, then you can shoot me. I'm serious. Just go ahead and do it because it would get me out of the videos. Blade is locked by a bolster lock. It's kind of like a frame lock, but it's a lot of titanium that is now gone. It's removed to no longer call it a frame lock. You know, your frame is like an entire slab, but a bolster lock, you remove most of that slab. There's too much titanium missing, and it's not a liner since it's technically not a separate piece there, so it's a bolster lock. Dummy. Sometimes there's pinchy parts in these areas where the scale and lock meet, but not here. No sir, not on this one, not on the Voodoo, guys. Everything here is amazingly comfortable, you know, for my hands, despite the extra contouring. No edgy parts, everything's been knocked down, tumbled, chamfered. Now, the Voodoo isn't a massive knife, it's about the size of the Para Military 2. And for some smaller handed persons, that still may be too big. You know what though, there's a lot of other knives out there for cuter, less tactical hands. Or you can be motivated, you can always campaign for a Voodoo Micro. You know, a little targeted harassment campaign, never hurt anybody. Just post multiple comments under all the videos and Instagram posts for Null Knives and you'll get your way. That's an option too. You don't get your way, you make everyone's life a little more miserable, right? I want the Micro Voodoo in a left hand. Pocket clip is nice and sculpted and also pretty great. Not deep carry and not a pocket destroyer. I also waited for a while to use pretty great as a descriptor. I'm really getting better. Now, like the scales and the blade coating, the clip finish changes on some of the variations. You got the hidden hardware, you don't see the screw, that's pretty cool. Of course, left-handed guys though that like swapping out the pocket clip, you know, I guess you're used to this gesture by now here. And if you know what, if it makes the left-handed guys feel any better, next year I will finally have paid off my film school loan from a place I graduated from an associate's degree with in November of 2002, and I've made every payment every month since then. So, you know, do you guys have do the left-handed guys really have it that bad on the pocket knives? All right, comparisons. I borrowed some tactical jewelry from Levin, who also sent me this knife. He being the first influencer who had the Voodoo before I did. It's like it pass around. And also, who's tactical Julie? You know, the rule is though, if you have Socoms in the house, you're going to show it in the video. There's also a blanket below the camera in case I drop them. I'd like to say I learned my lesson with the Void XL, but there's been a few videos where I didn't have the blanket down. The handle here, as is the blade, is longer. It's also heavier. Obviously heavier and longer is more tactical. Everything bigger is more tactical. Now the Para Military 2, let's show that here. Don't see enough of this one. You know, they're both great everyday carries. You know, I have the Flytanium sculpted scales on the Para Military 2 and the Lynch clip. And now I have used the word great too many times. How about the Sharp By Design Evo? Great knife. Oh wait, fuck. Well, no, all these knives are pretty great. Not a bad knife in the whole house payment's worth. I'm running out of words here. Sorry, student loan payment's worth. Okay, are we about done? Honestly, I think this one is even more of a knockout than the first. And actually, I think I need to use the word knockout more. You know what? Knockout's going in the title. And which might be a nice algorithmic tie-in with the baseball postseason because apparently everyone likes baseball right now, which is weird. I wish I had something real critical to say about the Voodoo, but I don't. I think I prefer the natural micarta or one of the limited carbon fiber options like the blue carbon fiber with the horizontal hand rub. That's probably would be what I'd put together. Blue Launch Edition's cool, you know, but I can live with the price of the tan micarta. Pre-order info can be found on their website, which takes place on the 27th of October. So that's a few days away. There's also a Knife Nuts podcast Voodoo coming out. Don't know when pre-order is going to drop a little further in the future. Limited quantities. You got to follow Knife Nuts on Instagram to kind of get the heads up on that. Did you see I just put on my fuchsia scales? How about that? You know, on my Apex. It's amazing. I think he's got a few of those left. Anyway, follow Null Knives and Knife Nuts over on Instagram. Say hi to the patrons. They're saying hi right back, man. Maybe they are high, who knows? Gotta be a little high to enjoy knife videos, I assume. They keep my video equipment up to date though. You know, new monitor, working on my RAID system. Like, subscribe, comment. And I think that ends my half-assed call to action in this half-assed video, so thanks for watching.